to reduce the quality of life of our children.
Would the Senator yield on that point?
I don't have the floor, but...
Senator from... Go ahead.
Okay. Well, the Senator's pointed out that you really don't believe they can afford to all these programs. You're not suggesting this is a game, are you?
I am suggesting that it is very difficult under any scenario to believe that this Congress is going to do anything other than spend the money that is put in this bill. It's certainly not going to end up making the reductions in Medicare that it proposes in this bill. If it does make those reductions, though, I think the senator from Utah has been absolutely right in saying those reductions should go to making the Medicare system solvent. They shouldn't go to creating a brand new entitlement.
On that point, I think Senator Crapo would like exactly to emphasize Senator Gregg's point.
Yeah, I'd like to engage, make a comment or two and then engage again with the chairman of the ranking member of the Budget Committee. Often people talk about driving the cost curve down, and frankly, when you talk to Americans about what they want in health care reform, the vast majority of them say the reason we need health care reform is because of the skyrocketing costs of health care and health care insurance. And those who are promoting this bill say that they are bending that cost curve down. My question is, which cost curve are they talking about? Is it the size of government? Are they bending the size of government growth down? No, as the senator from New Hampshire said, they're growing government by $2.5 trillion for the first true 10-year period of the bill. Are they driving personal health care costs down? No, the CBO report that we recently got said that 30% of Americans will see their health insurance go up, and the other 70% will at best see it stay just about what it is today, rising at the same levels it is today. Are they talking about the federal deficit? Well, the chairman of the Budget Committee has just indicated to us that we're going to see skyrocketing deficits, and those who claim that this bill is going to reduce the deficit can say so only if they take into account all of their budget gimmicks, like not counting the first 4 years of the spending, or the hundreds of billions of dollars of taxes that are going to be imposed on the American people, or the Medicare cuts that we've been talking. You can take any one of those three out of this bill, and it drives the deficit up in a skyrocketing fashion. Is that not correct, Senator?
And has the senator from New Hampshire ever heard of legislation where you pay in the first 4 years and before a single benefit comes about? You know, nowadays I see these advertisements that you can buy a car and you don't have to make a payment for a year, and then you can start making payments. On this deal, it's the reverse. You make payments, and then perhaps you get the benefits after some years. And the senator from Tennessee, I think, would like to comment, too.
Oh, go ahead. No, I would direct my comment to the senator from New Hampshire, too. The President of the United States said something a few weeks ago that I thought was profound and that I agreed with, which he said that this debate is not just about health care. It's about the role of the federal government in the everyday lives of the American people. And I believe he's exactly right about that, which is why so many Americans are turning against this bill. Would the senator from New Hampshire agree that the president was correct, that this debate is about, in my words now, Washington takeovers, more taxes, more spending, more debt, taking over car companies? It's not just about health care. The enormous interest across the country in these votes comes from a much larger picture than just this health care bill.
Well, I think the senator from Tennessee has once again hit the nail on the head. And I respect the president's forthrightness, because the president has said very simply, he believes that prosperity comes from growing the government. And when this bill passes, we will see the largest growth in government in the history of our country. This is going to be 16% of our economy basically managed by the federal government. And you're going to see the government explode in size. Does that lead to prosperity? I don't happen to think it does. It certainly doesn't lead to prosperity if, along with that massive expansion inside of the government, you're going to see your debt go up significantly. You're going to see the deficits go up significantly. Or you're going to see your tax burden go up significantly, which reduces productivity. Or if you're going to take a large segment of our society, our seniors, 35 million today, 70 million by the year 2019, and say to them, they're not going to have the ability to have a solvent Medicare system because the way that system might have been made more solvent is now being used to create a brand new entitlement, a massive new entitlement for a whole group of people who never paid in the insurance policy and never paid into the Medicare insurance fund. Senator. So I think the senator's touched the base. You know, we've seen automobiles. we've seen financial institutions, we've seen the student loans, and now we're seeing health care, all taken over by the government, or partially taken over by the government. And clearly the goal is, as the President said, expand the size of the government and create prosperity. Use the European model. I don't happen to be attracted to the European model. I think the American model works better, where you have a government that you can afford, and you give entrepreneurs a chance to go out and take risks and create jobs.
Senator Hutchinson, conclude.
Mr. President, we've been talking about Medicare Advantage and losing this great option for our lower income seniors is so important. I was reminded that looking at hospitals, we haven't even talked about the $135 billion that would be taken out of hospitals in this amendment, in this bill, and that is the care providers. So we're talking about taking away their options and eye care and dental care and hearing aids, sort of basic things that seniors need, but also undercutting the hospitals that treat them so that the care in the hospitals themselves would also have to be cut back. Mr. President, it just does not pass common sense to cut Medicare in order to create a new big entitlement program. We've all said that Medicare is on life support anyway. Understands that. So you take $500 billion out of a program that is working for seniors, that gives options to seniors like Medicare Advantage, and you take away their care to pay for another entitlement program that is not specifically designed for them. Mr. President, I want to thank the senator from Arizona, and I would ask him to finish the comment on what's happening to this bill in this country, to our seniors, and we need to stop it.
I thank my colleagues. It's been a lot of fun. I yield the floor.
Mr. President.